Check this out. I'm playing Dead or Alive 2 for the PlayStation 2 at 1080p. Look at how crisp, vibrant and detailed everything looks. Are you planning on buying a scaler like the RetroTink 5X or 4K to get the same effect with your original hardware? Well, stop. There's a lot of confusion around the term upscaler. Combined with the ease of access to emulation, especially for the N64, and good old rose-tinted glasses, some unrealistic expectations have been set for these devices, which has led to the classic expectation versus reality scenario. I want to briefly chat about what you should expect from an upscaler like the RetroTink or OSSC products. Now, I'm going to be talking in the most layman terms possible here, and that's because I am a layman. So if I skip over a load of details around analog and digital sampling, forgive me, but I just don't think it's that important to this concept. Right, let's go back to Dead or Alive 2.
You always were the heroine.
I'm running this at 1080p via the PCSX2 emulator on my PC. Thanks to its graphics card and processing power, we're able to soup up this virtual PS2 and increase its internal rendering resolution well beyond the capabilities of the real system. That's because this emulated PS2 is no longer bound by the limitations of its original hardware. This is one of the most common uses, or misuses, of the term upscaling, and unfortunately this has set an unrealistic expectation for what upscaling devices can do. Using emulators gives us the ability to tap into different parts of this emulated hardware and modify them before the actual picture itself is rendered. When you use an external scaler like the RetroTink 4K, it has to be placed after the system itself, and that means you're tied to the original resolution of that console. For the PS2, this would often be 480i, and with the N64 and PS1, it'd be 240p. For this video, I'm going to assume that you're using the best possible video signal, such as RGB or component. If you're using anything less than this, you're already feeding your upscaler an inferior and degraded signal. So this right here is the actual original resolution of Rayman 2 on the PlayStation 1. This is running in a 1080p window here. As far as the console's concerned, it's rendered the image at its native resolution and it's now off to process the next frame. This 320 by 240 image is literally all the RetroTink has to work with, and it's impossible to add any more detail to it. That's because there's no way to increase the internal rendering resolution with something that can only be placed after the console. What we can do is increase the size of this image. We do that by scaling it up, or upscaling the picture. While your TV might be able to do this, chances are it won't do it in the most efficient, low lag or visually pleasing way. Using an external, dedicated upscaler allows you to display the original resolution of your classic consoles on an HD TV with minimal lag while giving you a good amount of control over the way the image looks. You can also add scanlines and CRT masks to make it more suited to your tastes, but again, you can't add any detail that isn't already there. If you prefer the crisp, high-definition look of emulation, then good lord, just stick to it because you'll save a ton of money. If you want to use your original hardware paired with an upscaler, just make sure your expectations are in check. If you do your research and know what you're getting into, there's no way you'll be disappointed. Hell, you might even have fun.